Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones, how are you today? Back in 2017, Atlus was celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Shin Megami Tensei series, which was also the 30th anniversary of the Megami Tensei franchise. And it seemed like they were really starting things off strong. Like they had their first teaser for a brand new Shin Megami Tensei game at Nintendo's giant Switch reveal presentation in January, for a game that wouldn't come out until 2021, and was received so poorly that when they released the enhanced version of it in 2024, a big part of their marketing was just a giant list of things they fixed. But they also announced Deep Strange Journey for the 3DS, or as it'd later be known in the West, Strange Journey Redux. This is an enhanced edition of Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, one of the best Megaten games ever made. And Redux makes it even better by having super ugly character portraits, the addition of Yukiko Amagi, and 3 new endings that all serve the purpose of going, hey, what if those perfectly good endings from the original game were actually stupid? Okay, so admittedly, it wasn't the best use of a 25th anniversary, but thankfully Atlus learned from their mistakes and we never had a lackluster or disappointing Megaten 25th anniversary ever again. However, one incredibly unique and interesting thing did come out of all this. On October 13th, 2017, Atlus Japan released a Deep Strange Journey trailer that was showing off a brand new game starring the Jack brothers. It showed them running around and fighting demons and shooting ice and oh man, this looks so cool! I am way more excited for this than a mediocre re-release. But then the music dies down and the big red stamp is like, you thought this was a real game? You stupid idiot, you absolute clod, you pathetic— wow, I forgot you can really get a lot of words out of only a few Japanese characters. But then, Atlus subverted our expectations and only a few days later, on October 16th, did they release the supposedly fake game from the trailer to download for free. And that game is called Shin Megami Tensei Synchronicity Prologue. But before I dive into that, let's take a moment to talk about FiGGYZ. Once again, I'm not being paid to say this, but they did send me some more samples so I can tell you about them. These are awesome collectibles from First 4 Figures, makers of some high quality stuff. Now they've got these pixelated magnetic figurines of your favorite franchises like Persona 5, Sonic the Hedgehog, Metaphor ReFantazio, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and yes, I am absolutely buying that Barry one for myself. Do you know how long I've wanted Barry merchandise? And of course, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Look at how adorable and relevant to this video Jack Frost is. We've also got Aogami, the Nahobino, the new Hobino, and Yoko. Each FiGGYZ comes with a double-sided metal plate that you can put on its own standee or stick it to whatever surface you like. Every figure has a QR code that you can scan into the app and learn unique stuff about your figure and watch your FiGGYZ empire grow. If you buy 3 FiGGYZ, you get an automatic 5% off, but when you spend $50 or more and use my coupon code STRAIN, you get an additional 5% off. You save money, get fantastic collectibles of your favorite characters, and help the channel out. That's like so many levels of win-win. New FiGGYZ release every week, so keep an eye out for characters or franchises that you love, like, oh man, I wonder who these could be. So, use my link in the description below or coupon code STRAIN at checkout, and I thank you in advance. Alright, back to the video. Now, this title was released in October, but it was taken down on December 24th, 2017. And as you all know, once something is taken off the internet, there's absolutely no way anyone can ever get it again. So if you think this game looks good, sorry, but you'll just have to accept that there's no way to look up how to download Synchronicity Prologue or find a pre-patched version that comes with the English fan translation from Ren Channel, because Atlus never officially localized the game. Synchronicity Prologue is an absolutely gorgeous search-action game with pixel graphics, and it was developed by Krolbon and Team Ladybug, who also made Pharaoh Rebirth Plus, an absolutely gorgeous search-action game with pixel graphics, Touhou Luna Nights, an absolutely gorgeous search-action game with pixel graphics, and earlier this year even released the super underrated Blade Chimera, an absolutely gorgeous search-action game with pixel graphics. Look, what they do very well, and if you like this game, I can definitely recommend their other stuff too. The actual story of Synchronicity Prologue is a bit simple, so consider this your spoiler warning for the rest of the video. As the name suggests, this is a prologue chapter to the start of Strange Journey, when they send all the ships and trained soldiers and stuff inside the black hole, and it involves the Synchronicity experiments. See, even though I and most people say that the game has you playing as the Jack brothers, that's not entirely accurate. Technically, you play as Subject Number 2, an unseen protagonist who immediately clicks a sketchy link they got from an ominous email that launches the synchronization program that allows them to transfer their consciousness into the body of a compatible demon in the Schwarzfeld.
This is like Avatar.
This is nothing like Avatar!
I mean, sort of. They still act like the Jack brothers, like they fill in their lines of dialogue with the classic he's and ho's, and they don't seem aware of the fact that they have a human consciousness inside of them guiding their actions. So early in the game, Jack Frost rescues Pyro Jack from a block of ice, and Pyro is like, yeah, there was this Black Frost, and he froze me, and he killed everybody else, and I never want to fight that guy ever again. So Frost immediately says we should go fight him, and Pyro is like, what? No! But then a synchronization happens and he's instantly like, actually yeah, you bring up a good point, Frost, let's go fight that guy. And from there, the story is mostly about chasing down Black Frost. At the end of the first area, you fight off Bifrons, who can smell that you have humans inside of you, and we end up meeting this chubby little guinea pig fursona man in a tie. He has amnesia, but he calls himself Jay. The Jacks progress through other stages, like a castle and a mall, and fight off more bosses, like Decarabia and Alice, and then Frost gets a Demonica suit somehow, and each section helps us learn a bit more about Jay. Like how he recognizes the note that was attached to the Demonica suit, and may have been the one to invent it. We eventually discover that Jay is actually Mr. Jones, an engineer we saw from a news headline at the very beginning of the game who is in a coma, and he was Subject Number 1 in the Synchronicity experiments. Basically, he synced with Black Frost, but then Black Frost went crazy and broke off from Jones. But since Jones's consciousness was now fractured, he couldn't go back to his body in the real world, so his real body is in a coma, and the remaining piece of his mind transformed into the chubby guinea pig man. The game ends with the Jack brothers defeating Black Frost, and Jay is all like, he's me, and I'm him, and if you kill him for good, we can form back together and reawaken in my human body. He even says, according to his calculations, that he shouldn't die, so we kill Black Frost and desynchronize and... Oh. Don't worry, I'll come back to that later. So yeah, like I said, the story is a bit simple, but not bad by any means. The first time I played through this game, I didn't even have the English patch, but I was still able to follow it well enough. The gameplay is where this title really shines. I love that Atlus went ahead and made a search action game set in this world. I've said several times that I firmly believe you could make a Megaten game from any genre, and outside of a handful of Persona side games, this is basically the only time Atlus has done something outside of a traditional RPG in like over 20 years. The game follows the basic search action formula. You've got collectibles like these rings that can raise your health and MP, and you can pick up a few spells to do other types of damage, because every demon in the game has elemental weaknesses or resistances, including the Jack brothers themselves. All the enemies are familiar faces in Megami Tensei, from Slime to Mothman to Gremlin, and they all have their own attacks and movement patterns that make them feel unique. Like, this game is a real love letter to Megaten, and it all works super well. Frost can run and jump and shoot ice straight ahead, or downward if he's up in the air, or if you hold the attack button, you can shoot a piercing ice blast that freezes enemies. And Pyrojack can shoot a tri-shot of flames, or by holding it, you can aim a powerful fireball. You're likely going to play as Frost for most of the game because he can move faster and more accurately, but sometimes you will need Pyrojack to reach certain areas because he can fly. I mean, sort of. There has to be ground below him because otherwise, can you imagine how scary that would be? I mean, come on, he might fall. There are also a few things you can discover as you explore, like there's a dwarf in the castle area who runs a shop where you can buy items, and in the mole zone you meet up with another Jack Frost that's clearly going to be the Jack Frost from Strange Journey that becomes Frostace. So remember to buy Strange Journey Redux when it comes out because this game is a commercial. The thing is, as a search action title, Synchronicity Prologue is incredibly linear. Normally this genre relies on revisiting old areas with new power-ups to find new things or unlock zones, but there are really only two situations where you need to do that. There's one moment where you find a cube in the second zone that can unlock a door in the first area to get a health upgrade, and then the other one is needing to go back to the first zone after getting the Demonica suit to get to the fourth area and bypass the poison that Black Frost ran into. Beyond that, you can basically fully explore every area and find every secret on your first visit to any new location. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not saying that as a complaint. I personally don't mind a linear adventure, but I think it's worth noting that this incredibly short, free-to-play tie-in advertisement game for a 3DS enhanced port might not have the same level of complexity and map exploration as some bigger search action titles. Each zone basically has one unique idea or mechanic, and you just kinda roll with that, like the reality warping candlesticks of the castle, or flipping a switch to turn on the escalators in the mall. Those two examples are both equally exciting and engaging from a gameplay perspective. After getting the Demonica suit in the mall, Frost can take it on or off whenever he wants, but having it on does change his element from ice to gun. You know, the fifth element: fire, ice, wind, electricity, and bullets. Even though you need the suit to get into the fourth zone, the boss of this area, Giri Makala, is immune to gun attacks, just like in most Megaten games. But after you defeat him, if you immediately rush into the next area, fall into a pit of lava and die, which is really easy to do by the way, you have to fight this boss again, and because you didn't save your game, he actually has special dialogue reminding you the importance of saving after you beat a boss. But it doesn't matter, because he's gonna beat you this time for sure, and then you have to fight him again. It's a cute and really funny little Easter egg, and it's just one of the many examples of why this advertisement title is so much more charming and enjoyable than it really has any right to be. Now, before I wrap things up, I want to take a moment to go back to that ending. You defeat Black Frost, get back to your real body, see a news report about the Schwarzfeld investigation program, aka the start of Strange Journey, and then Jones, who was Jay, suddenly dies? Well, that's kind of a downer, right? Well, what if I told you that you could save Jones? That's right, there are multiple endings in this little adventure. All you have to do to save Jay is make sure that you collect all of the macaroni noodles in every zone. See, each zone has 4 macaroni noodles, and collecting them all turns them into macaroni jewelry, and that's like a symbol of friendship or something, I guess. So if you have all 20 pieces of macaroni and then beat the boss, you get a different ending where Jones actually wakes up from his coma instead. Oh yeah, and we never find out who sent those cryptic emails and launched the synchronization program in the first place, but based on their way of speaking and the fact that this is a Strange Journey game, I'm just going to assume it was like Mastema or Metatron or someone. No matter what ending you get, you can hop back into the world, and if you want to 100% fill out the map, you'll have to head to this newly unlocked area that's basically just a long stretch of time trial boss rush rooms. You can fully complete this game in just a few hours, which is to be expected from a simple free-to-play advertisement game. And yet, I absolutely love Synchronicity Prologue. I play through it pretty regularly, and I'd say I actually enjoy it even more than the game it's supposed to be a commercial for. I really wish that Atlus and Ladybug would team up again and make a brand new game in this style. Ladybug clearly had some bigger plans for this game, because on their Twitter they revealed that Jack the Ripper was supposed to be in this game too, but he was cut for time reasons. There's so much potential with this type of game, and I'd really love to see Atlus flesh it out more. Synchronicity Prologue is super charming, very fun, and I highly recommend it. The game may not be officially available anymore, but screw that, find it and play it for yourself and just have a great time. I sure do every time I boot it up. And then hey, when you're done, maybe go check out Blade Chimera, because seriously, that game is pretty awesome.